In this video, Simon Sinek talks about that one of the risks a leader must take is trust.
Fascinated by the concept of control, and throughout this pandemic, and even the social unrest from some of the social stuff that's happening in our country, it's been fascinating to understand how people feel and how control relates as to how they respond. When we feel out of control, it actually increases our stress dramatically. There's been lots of studies on this. There was a great study that was done, I think in the 70s, called the Whitehall studies, where back in the 70s, there was a group of social scientists who wanted to study a phenomenon that they labeled and called executive stress syndrome, right? The belief that if you make your way up the ranks, you feel more stress, right?
Okay.
And so they wanted to study executive stress. And they did it in Whitehall, which is the halls of government in the UK, because they could account for standardized healthcare. It wouldn't be variances in healthcare. What they discovered was there is no such thing as executive stress syndrome. It was completely made up. And what they discovered is as you make your way up the ranks of an organization, your stress levels actually go down. And the people who suffer the highest stress levels are actually people at some of the lowest levels. And the reason had nothing to do with responsibility, it had nothing to do with number of hours worked, it had to do with feeling in control. That when somebody's more senior in their career, they have a little more control as to the direction of their day, the direction of their career. When you're at the lowest level, somebody's always telling you what to do, and somebody's always correcting your behavior, so is always catching you when you do something wrong. And they find the highest rates of diabetes and some cancers and heart disease actually at the people who felt the least in control. And so giving people control, giving people agency, letting people know that they have say in the course of their career, or if they screw something up, to give them an opportunity to try and mend it, or catching people doing things right, which is something we could all do better at. You know, we catch people doing things wrong.
Right.
You know, you only send an email when something went wrong, but you never send an email when everything went right. It's all about giving people a sense of control and letting them work together and figure things out. And it has a dramatic impact on how people feel about themselves, and more important, how they relate to each other. We trust people. We want to give them agency and empower them. I think the challenge is what goes first, you know. And I think for anybody in a leadership position, I think one of the things that they fail to appreciate is that trusting is one of the risks a leader has to take. And I've never heard a great leader say, "Prove to me why I should trust you." Rather, leaders show up and trust. And I hear it, I get pushback all the time. Well, I didn't get to choose my team. You can't ask me to trust them out the gate. Well, you didn't get to choose your children. You love them out the gate. Leaders take the risk to trust. And it's actually the opposite. It's the team that says, well, prove to us why we should trust you. And it's the leader who has to demonstrate trustworthiness that the team would trust them. But actually, leaders have to take the risk to trust their teams. And the more they give trust, the more they get trust. The more they give trust, the more they're practicing empowerment. I'm going to let you do that. As one great leader that I adore, her name is General Laurie Robinson. She says to her teams, "There's nothing you can break that I can't help fix." And I just love that notion that I'm here to help you.
Additionally, to fostering a sense of psychological safety that can increase motivation and engagement, trust enables teams to collaborate more effectively and efficiently. According to Sinek, leaders can increase trust by exemplifying their own dependability. This entails acting and speaking honestly, openly, and consistently. Additionally, it entails accepting responsibility for your errors rather than placing blame elsewhere or coming up with an explanation. Team members are more inclined to trust one another and collaborate well when they perceive their leader to be trustworthy. Establishing a sense of purpose and shared values within the team is another crucial step in developing trust. Team members are more likely to collaborate well and have trust in one another when they are united by a shared objective or goal. By articulating a clear vision, defining meaningful goals, and highlighting the significance of the team's work, leaders can contribute to the development of this sense of purpose. The value of empowering team members with autonomy and ownership over their work is another point made by Sinek. Team members are more likely to take ownership of their work and feel invested in the success of the group when they feel like they have control over it and are trusted with making decisions. This can also contribute to the development of trust because team members are more inclined to trust a leader who offers them the flexibility to perform at their highest level. Along with these tactics, Sinek stresses the value of establishing rapport and fostering a culture of feedback within the team. Leaders should take the time to get to know each member of their team personally and to provide them with opportunity to interact and form bonds with one another. As a result, the team may feel more supportive of one another and develop a sense of togetherness. Sinek also exhorts team leaders to foster a culture of constructive criticism by being receptive to input. This entails developing a setting where team members are at ease giving and receiving feedback and where criticism is viewed as an opportunity to improve performance. Leaders may encourage team trust and accountability while also fostering growth and continual improvement. Simon Sinek is well known for his writings on motivation, organizational structure, and leadership. He has written and lectured widely about the advantages of trusting your team, which is one of the main teachings. According to Sinek, trust is an essential element of any productive team. Without trust, team members are less likely to interact honestly, take calculated risk, or work well together. Finally, Simon Sinek's advice to trust your team is a strong one. By fostering collaboration and teamwork, leaders may encourage psychological safety, which in turn increases motivation and engagement, creating a sense of purpose and shared values, empowering team members with autonomy and ownership, cultivating connections, and fostering a culture of feedback are all ways that leaders can foster trust. These tactics can be used by leaders to build high performing teams that are capable of doing great things. Renew your effort. One of the risks a leader must take is trust. We gain trust from others more when we give it to them. And when we give employees a feeling of power and autonomy, our teams become stronger and happier. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos, like these and please subscribe.